Well, g'day, tubes. How's she hanging today? So, we're doing pretty good here. I've been super swamped all morning. Oh, it's just that time of the year, you know, everything happens and boom, it starts right now. But anywho, got a little bit of a package come in the mail. And it's from Amazon. I think it's those little lapel mics that we maybe ordered a while back there. So we got her here. We're going to crack her open and see what we get. Alright, well, there she be. A little bit of a knifey thing, I guess. And the heck is this? Oh, I see. Not maybe it'll be the knifey thing. But anywho, I'll get this open here, but I haven't really, whoa, got a whole, oh, look at that little 6x, no, it's a 2x6, little tiny little box. Oh, isn't that so cute? So let's crack that open. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot planned today. I've been working out in the cemetery quite a bit today and doing some stuff, but this afternoon I actually got another load of gravel in for the guys that do the monuments. They get a load of gravel dumped here, and so he's like, oh, you can have that old stuff if you want, like the stuff from last year what was left over, which is actually a fairly big heap. But he's like, oh yeah, we won't use that now, we'll just use that new stuff, because the other stuff you get grass blown into it and stuff starts growing onto it, and holy lapel mics. So anyways, there's a whole lot of lapel mics, but anyways, let's get them aside and have a look at one here. Yeah, so he's like, yeah, if you got somewhere you can use that. I'm like, yeah, you got a good idea where I'm gonna use her. So there we go. Now, pretty skinny little cord on them, but I think it's sure good long enough. I'll have to measure one here and see. Oh yeah, that should reach lots. So that'll get somewhere inside my helmet here. Not really sure where. We'll get this little clip thingy here, right? Attach that into there, somewhere just like that, and run the cord down and out, and then this thing's still got it clear here for closing. Which looks like it should work pretty good. And yeah, so there we go. Lapel mics, 12 of them. Holy crap. Talk about surround sound, eh? But anywho, let's go back and have a look at this pile of gravel. Well, just before we hit her back, what I done here is undone the clothesline line thingy here, because the tractor is just like this much too tall to get under the line, so I'll be able to just drive it over top of it and then dump her stuff down there and smooth her out as we're doing it, which would be kind of nice. And yeah, we've been looking awesome. But anywho, let's head her down and have a look. Got the tractor up here ready to go. Alright, so there's where they had delivered this morning, this pile of stuff here, and it actually still had some chunks of ice and stuff in it. And this is what was left from last year, which is actually still a fair bit, but the stuff they got last year wasn't super good, because the guy where they got them from, I guess they didn't mix very much sand in it, so they ended up bringing them another sort of pile of just straight sand, and I was mixing it up for him and stuff, but he's like, oh, you just go ahead and use her. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So we're gonna have quite a few loads to drive up and down and back and forth, and I kind of figured I'd just leave my narrower sort of bucket on there, and then I can spread her out pretty good, and then, you know, back drag her and smush her out and smush her out and smush her out. I was thinking of just loading the trailer and then taking loads up, but then I got nothing up there really to smush it around with, right? So I end up with just great big heaps everywhere, which kind of sucks. So we'll just work at her like that, I guess, and get going here. So we'll grab a scoop here, and we'll head her up. Huge load. Woo, mama. Well, she's getting down. This is about the 6th load, 7th load, maybe around there, so not too bad. This actually holds just about as much as my bucket that come with my tractor, the 72. So yeah, we got probably 3 more loads there, and then that'll be it. We'll be down to, I don't want to dig into their pile too much, you know, but I want to try to scrape it back and keep it somewhat separated. It's getting kind of mushed together, but we'll get her all up there, I guess, and then getting her smoothed out as we're going too, and it's coming not too bad, but the more I drive on it, it seems like the more I'm making a mess. So mushy down there. But anyways, let's get this one up. Well, that's pretty well it. So we got her a little bit left there, but over here I'm not worrying too much about that. But anywho, I tried to scrape her down as much off of their pile as I could, and I don't think it's too bad. So anywho, let's head her up and see where all this has been going. Well, there we go. We got even the heaps and piles and stuff I had up there all smushed down the hill a bit more too, and kind of smushed out a bit, but this stuff's so spongy. The more I drive in it, the worse it gets, you know, so I'm just gonna have to just get her as best I can and leave her. I guess it'll eventually settle to whatever it wants, and then should be good to go. So like I've been dragging it. I don't know, the more I do it, the worse it seems to get. Probably if I got the big wide bucket on, or maybe even the snowplow or something, and whatever, I could just back drag and smooth her out good. Maybe I'll try throwing the big bucket on here and see. You know, it's not going to be lifting anything, so I'll just jam her down and then back her up and see if that gets her a little more square level for us. But let's go down and change that, I guess. That's a little better looking, a little smoother, but as soon as the rain hits it, it'll probably do whoever knows what. But we may have to give her another little bit of a raking out or whatever. But yeah, there we go. Well, let's try her out perhaps here. I want to take this up and give her a little wash. So there we go. Well, I did a pretty decent chewy with that thing, you know, and putting on there, she stopped right about there, and then I gave her a little more. She's quite a bit more torquey with that 12-tooth sprocket on the front here. Let me show you what I mean. I didn't put the cover back on yet, just so I keep an eye on how it was running, but that is the 12-tooth. Whoa, there we go, the 12-tooth sprocket on there, so that makes her way lots more torqueier. And on the highway, holy shnikes, just amazing. But Anywho, I wanted to give her a little bit of a wash here because I don't know where I got all the dirt from, but anyhow, we'll see if we can get some of her blown out. I got a little, what I call a homeowner's pressure washer up here, and let's get that feller out and give her a little bath. Oh, that's the cheesy homeowner special, I call them. It's not bad, but you know, it's like comparing dial-up internet to maybe like a high-speed light internet or something. It works, but yeah, it works pretty good, I guess. I don't know. Better than just the naked hose. I'll get rid of the worst of her anyways. Loosen up the hard stuff and wash it off. Anyways, I'm getting all wet, so I better put the camera away. Alright, I got my phone in the casey thing here. I'm going to do a little speedometer comparison with this app thingy I got here. And once you get going, we'll do a compare to see if they're both reading the same. I kind of pretty much think they will be, but anywho, I won't be able to film that, of course, because it's going to be kind of all hands on deck. But anyways, we'll do a little compare and then let you know how we're looking when we get back here. Well, just got back, and that was very interesting. I guess this bike isn't set up like the Suzuki with the speedometer thingy in the wheel. This is, I'm not too actually sure where this one is. I'd have to run wires, I guess, or whatever, and see where it goes to, but I found, and good call yesterday, you called her, bud. Changing the sprocket has really messed up my speedometer. I thought, holy crap, I'm doing awesome, super wicked fast, and I get this thing going, and look down here, I'm doing let's say 100, so it's up to 100 on here, and here's like 80. I'm like, oh crap, man, really? So I'm gonna just double check my app and make sure it's okay. I'm gonna throw it on the other bike where it hasn't changed nothing on it yet, and we're gonna see if numbers match on that one. And maybe it's just my app screwing up. I don't think so though. I think it's kind of messed herself up now. But interestingly enough, I'm not sure where it's getting its reading from. It might even be somewhere in here. I see a couple of wires and stuff here, right? One, I think it's going down to, this will probably be the thing that tells you when you're in neutral. My ATV, my one ATV had that. So when it's in neutral here, it flashes the N up on there, right? And interesting, I really don't know where they would put the speedometer thing unless it's something internal. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to do a bit of researching on that, because maybe there's some way that I could reconfigure the speedo on this thing to match that gear. Because where did I see it? There was, oh man, somewhere in here anyways. It might actually, it's up under this cover I think, which I can't get in there to see because everything's all covered, but there is a diagnostic port thing that you might be able to hook onto with some special tool to reconfigure that. I don't know, but that's not a big deal to me really, though. It's you know, like I say, this one's going to be more for like driving to a trail and driving on a trail, and you know, if I'm going to drive a trail somewhere else, I'd probably trailer this one to the trail or whatever, you know, or yeah. So, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm like, oh crap, I'm like 20 kilometers apart on each one here. So anyways, we'll go put this feller away and then strap this feller on the back on the Suzuki, and then we'll just do a little comparison just to make sure this isn't screwing up, which I don't think it is. Well, just got back from this one, and interestingly enough, yeah, we are about 3 kilometers roughly difference, but I think that's pretty good because, you know, I think this one's a little more accurate than kind of the GPS-y one, because by the time it gets, you know, updated, this thing's changed so much speed. But it was roughly sitting when I was cruising around 3-4 kilometers difference. So there you go. So this one's a little different though, because they have, See, I could change sprockets and gears on this all day and it should technically still read, because that's the speedometer thing there, right, on this one. So yeah, a little interesting how the other one works compared to how this one works, but there you go. So a lot nicer ride, I think, on this one though. The Suzuki's a little bit of a sleeker, nicer ride, and a little handling and feels a lot better, you know, as you're driving. But you know, having the digital gauge and the fuel gauge and the electric fuel injection and the liquid coolant, the other one, it's a little nicer there, but then this would be nice if they were all in one bike. But anyways, that's the way she works, and that's the way she works. So, but yeah, anyways, this one's all dirty now too. Holy cow. That's just mostly on the road. I haven't even had this one in the back field. So yeah, funny. But anywho, I guess there we go. Messed her all up. Oh well. There goes the door. Like I was saying though, this is just going to be for you know, mostly more off-roading and stuff. Forgot to take those with me on the first ride, and yeah, I ate a couple of bugs. That sucked right in the face. One pinged me right off the forehead, and it still hurts. It's probably lodged in my forehead. But anywho, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit more research on this thing and see if there's something I can do, something I can change, something I can whatever to, you know, readjust, recalibrate the speedometer, because it's interesting. Very, very interesting. It must be something. I don't know. I don't really know much about their whatchamacallums on this one. So, but yeah, there we go.